So Kyle Rittenhouse said that he did not want to vote for Trump and he was going to write in Ron Paul instead in his 2024 election, but then he almost immediately reversed it, and I'm kind of confused. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse saying that he does not want to vote for Trump and he's going to write in Ron Paul instead in this year 2024 presidential election. Then almost immediately afterward, he reversed course and says that he's still on the Trump train. Now, this, in my humble opinion, is pretty confusing. Before we get to anything, I just want to say one thing. Right when I first heard that he said he was going to vote Ron Paul and not Trump, I didn't really think anything of it. I'm like, okay, Kyle Rittenhouse is 21 years old. He's a young guy. So he may change his mind, drop of a hat. He's more malleable. He's still trying to figure things out. So I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, hey, man, whatever. As long as you keep doing what you're doing, supporting gun rights and keep being a law-abiding citizen, it's totally fine if you want to go that direction. But I was kind of confused as to why he would say it, because understand this, saying what he said publicly is more impactful than the act of voting itself from Kyle Rittenhouse, because his vote is just a one vote. It's important, but it's just one vote. But his voice can influence thousands of people, if not millions of people. So his words are more impactful than his vote. Now, I'm not trying to browbeat Kyle Rittenhouse because I'm sure his mentors and whatnot have already told him this. But before I go any further, let's get into his original statement. Then we're going to get into the statement that follows the statement to backtrack and a little bit more information. And without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Hi, I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, Outreach Director for Texas Gun Rights. A lot of people are upset that I said I'm going to be writing in Ron Paul for President of the United States. And that is true. I will be writing in Ron Paul. Unfortunately, Donald Trump had bad advisors making him bad on the Second Amendment, and that is my issue. If you cannot be completely uncompromisable on the Second Amendment, I will not vote for you, and I will write somebody else in. We need champions for the Second Amendment, or our rights will be eaten away and eroded each day. I support my decision, and I have no takebacks.
Okay, so that's what he said. Now, I understand what you're saying, young man. I really do. But check it out. Let's be serious here. Ron Paul has zero, like the person you're going to write in has zero chance to win. And when you say stuff like, okay, he's this and he's that, what you're doing really is attacking them. So that's going to influence people to stay home or write somebody in. Basically, you're going to give Kamala Harris the leverage. And you don't want to do that, because if you're looking at people on a sheet of paper and you listen to pros and cons and you have Trump on one side, Kamala on the other side, when it comes to guns rights, who's going to have the more pros? Who's going to have the more cons? I think we all know the answer. But I do understand your perspective 100%. I get it, because Trump was talking about certain things, the bump stock ban that happened under Trump, red flag laws, things of this nature. So I get it. But again, who's going to be worse between him and Kamala? Again, you know the answer. But that was that. Now, we see Kyle Rittenhouse and Trump in pictures. This was right after he was acquitted, because let's not forget why you know Kyle Rittenhouse's name. Back in 2021, Kenosha, Wisconsin, or in that area, there was a bunch of riots, what they call protests. And Kyle Rittenhouse at age 17 had a rifle and was able to defend himself from some very bad people, including a person that was abusing children in a very, very, very terrible way. 2 people got deleted. 1 person got his arm blown off, and he almost had his life turned upside down. He did, really, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. He could have been going to the penitentiary, but he beat his case. And right after he beat the case, met with Trump, supported Trump. So when you say something against Trump publicly during the campaign, it's just a way for people to use that against him. See, one of his staunch supporters, a so-called MAGA, turned against him. They're in shambles. It doesn't really help anything. And I think the people that are in his ear, people that are around him, told him that. So this is a tweet right here from Kyle's page. Says, over the past 12 hours, I've had a series of productive conversations with members of the Trump team, and I am confident he will be the strong ally gun owners need to defend our Second Amendment rights. My comments made last night were ill-informed and unproductive. I'm 100% behind Trump. and to encourage every gun owner to join me in helping send them back to the White House. Okay, so that is the statement after the statement to clear it up. So he's back on the Trump train. And again, this is a young guy, 21 years old. I mean, I wasn't really offended. Some people got offended and they say, how dare you turning it back on Trump, stabbing them in the back. I don't really think it was like that. I just think that he made a bad statement. And again, you could change your mind. Of course, you're going to do that more when you're young versus when you're older. But my thing, as I close, I wouldn't have said that publicly. I would have said it behind closed doors. I would have said it behind closed doors, or I would have done it behind closed doors and not really told anybody, because telling somebody, it's a way to attack Trump. Even if you feel that way, it doesn't really make any sense for the overall purpose of what you're trying to do. Okay, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense at all. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on Kyle Rittenhouse? You think he's a turncoat, a coward, a traitor for saying what he said about Trump? How about the reversal? Are you buying it? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. I don't really have any I don't really have any bad blood or anything against Kyle. Young guys, I know a lot of young people that get into politics, and sometimes they have changes like this because they're still trying to figure it out. They're still trying to get their footing, and they're going to stumble, make mistakes. But I think it's up to us as people that are older. Like, I could be Kyle's dad. I'm that age. So it's up to us to be more like the parents and kind of guide people in the proper direction. That's why I said he probably had mentors that told him, hey, man, like, you got to understand what you're doing. You got to understand your impact. You got to understand how powerful your voice is. You got to use your voice responsibly. Although you may have issues with Trump as far as gun rights, when you say things against him, all you're really doing is helping the other side who are going to be worse. So you got to just pick what's the best thing for you. Now, if you have an issue with gun rights and you're able to communicate to the Trump team, you're able to communicate to your senators, to your governor or whatever, you raise that with them. You continue to lobby for these rights, but you got to get the best people in office to be able to communicate with to get that done. So I think that'll probably be what he was told. It'll be a learning lesson, and many more lessons are going to come for a guy who's 21 years old. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that is all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.